Hello, we're recording this live from Augsburg. We're at the Smooth Jazz Festival 2010, and I'm sitting down here with Mr. Chuck Loeb. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for taking your time to speak with us.
My pleasure.
On behalf of smoothjazznow.com. So this is really a unique opportunity and a unique moment for me to be sitting here with you and talking about your music. We witnessed a great show yesterday on the first night, and you were so generous as to sit in despite travel and everything, and you just you delivered a stellar performance.
Thank you.
Every time, and the consistency is something that seems to be very unique to your career. People and also industry representatives keep mentioning that your consistency over the years has never failed in any way. I mean, you always deliver top-notch quality. How do you do that?
Well, I mean, I think that, for example, yesterday, when you come, one of the nice things about being a musician is that when we travel, because many people travel for business and work, but when they get there, maybe the work isn't quite as much fun as it is for us. And because we travel and it's a difficult day and everything, we get there and we're going to share music with people. So what could be better than that? So we show up and there's Rick Braun and Schultz and a great band and a beautiful venue and public and everybody's waiting to hear music. So it actually, instead of making it more difficult or more tiring, it gives you energy, and it gives me a burst of energy to get up on stage and play with everybody. And we had, as you know, we were kind of doing it in the spirit of fun, spontaneity and all that. So it's an energizing feeling for me, and hopefully for the audience. I hope.
Oh, absolutely. It was totally apparent how you were energized. I mean, we could see that. For the audience, I have to explain. He sat in with the band, and the guitar wasn't even his own guitar, so he had never played this guitar before. And the strap over his shoulder was too short, so he had to stand.
No, it was too long.
Too long. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was too long, so he had to stand there and hold the guitar while he was playing. I'm a guitar player myself. I can't imagine how you managed it, but you did, and you totally delivered.
It was funny because like a lot of guitar players, rock guitar players, and is you hold it down low. So the guitarist playing in the band had his guitar very low down, and I can't play like that because I'm used to playing more like in a jazz style, and so I had to sit down. And then after a while, I wanted to get up in this part of the stage where Rick was, so I had to put the guitar down on the floor and play it like this. So it was a lot of fun.
I hope to get some footage of that. I shot that with a camera.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
The footage came out right. Yeah, that was.
I don't know what it sounded like, but it looked.
I would like to speak about your last record as a leader first, and then maybe we can segue into a little bit of Fourplay.
Sort of the latest stage, I guess, in my career. I would love to talk about that a little bit because Fourplay just recorded a new CD, and it's the first one that I'm involved with, and so we'll talk about that. It's an exciting step for me.
We'll start with Between Two Worlds. That's your last release as a leader.
Yeah.
It came out in 2009.
Yes.
When I did my research on this, what I found amazing is that you at least put out one record per year, at least one, as a leader, co-leader.
Oh yes, yeah. Including other projects, definitely, or more. Yeah.
There's more. That's what I was going to say. Those are the significant ones as leader, but you are involved in so many other projects, and they're all listed. And it's again, I would have to ask, how do you balance it, especially with touring? You have family, you live between two worlds, actually.
Yeah.
And so, would you like to comment on that? How do you?
Yeah. I think the answer actually is kind of visual. You see these bags under my eyes. I don't sleep a lot. No, it's partially because the music business is when you work in the music business, it's very important to be doing a lot of different things because when one thing ends, for example, when I do my own CD, like Between Two Worlds was March of 2009 was the release. I won't do another CD until probably March, April, or May of 2011. So it's 2 years. And I think as a musician, you're always trying to keep the flow going of the creativity because it's first of all, it's a reality of work because you want to have income from different projects coming in, but also. I think Miles Davis once said, I think it was him that said, music is an addiction. And it is, really. I mean, I think playing music and being part of the creativity is addictive, and listening to it too is addictive. You know, when you find something that you really like, it's like, I want to listen to that again. I want to listen again. I want to eat more of that artist or whatever, which is a good thing. You know, it's a good addiction. You don't have to go to rehab for it. But for me, you know, it's like I'm already like starting to think about what I'm going to do next when I'm in the middle of the last project, because and I want to keep that feeling going. The consistency that you mentioned before and that you're saying is very important to me, because I think that not only consistency from project to project, but consistency within a project. For example, the best compliment that somebody can say is, well, when I put on your CD, I don't just listen to one or two tracks. I like the whole thing. I listen to the whole record, and I like the last track, and I like the first. Because I think sometimes people focus on, like, you know, the main tracks, and then the other ones become sort of like what they call album tracks or something like that. But I think that there should be a consistency, even in this day and age when people buy songs more than they buy CDs. I still think it's important to have a project that has an overall balance to it, you know. And when I'm making a CD, I think often where on a CD each song is going to be, and that in the sequence, and that makes it have a certain character, and I might want to build up a certain energy in a song, or less energy, or whatever in a certain area, so that it fits into the big picture. But consistency, I think, is a very important thing, and I think you know, it's inspiring to me to hear you say that other people say that about me, because that's I would say it's important. You know, it's really important to me.
It defines itself.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think, you know, no matter what you do in life, what is evident is that when people really put a lot of effort and the work ethic is strong, the product is it shows. It shows in the end result of the music. Now, it's interesting because sometimes things come out great in the first take, you know. So there might be a time where like you can overwork something. Right. Like if something's good, you know, you have to have the ability to be. And I see people like you mentioned Fourplay. Now I'm working with Fourplay. Like someone like Bob James, for example. He's an example of someone that has the maturity as an artist to be able to say, it's done, it's finished, let's just move on and do something else. And it's really something that you have to learn, because sometimes you become too much of a perfectionist. You say, well, it could be this, it could be that, it could be that. But if you can listen to it and say, well, that captured the magic of the moment, you got to let it be. You know?
And I would assume that to be a very hard, tough decision to make.
It is, yeah, because, yeah. You never know what might be around, what might be under that other stone. And sometimes that can only happen when there's an objective other person involved. Like, for example, my family life is very centered around music, because my wife is a singer and a songwriter and a recording artist. My daughter is a singer and a songwriter and a recording artist. My other daughter is very musical. She's not in the business, but she's also very musical. And so sometimes I'll be working on a track, let's say playing on a record for someone, and I'm working on a track, whether it's my own or somebody else's, and I'll be playing over and over and over and over again, trying to get it to be exactly right, exactly perfect. And I just can't be objective anymore. Yeah. And sometimes I'll just say to Carmen, my wife, Carmen Cuesta, and say, Carmen, just come in here and tell me to stop when it's done, okay? Because and she'll do that, or my daughter will do it, and you know, and so in the situation where you're by yourself, it takes a lot. It really takes a lot of effort, and sometimes the correct thing to do is to say, I'm not going to play anymore. I'm just going to walk away and go have a coffee and take a walk, do something else, and then come back. And then when you come back and you listen to it and say, oh well, it's almost there, you know, just a little thing here and there, and then it'll be done. Music has been integral to our relationship from the beginning, because we met because I was playing with Stan Getz in Madrid. She's from Madrid. She came to see, she was a big fan of Bossa Nova, so